Mike, I met a man from a distant land. He stressed the point that I am that I am. Mike was a fur man with eyes of flame. The powers he possessed put me to shame. But he said, "You can do what I do, Lee." The secret lies in your brain capacity. We drove around in his compact car while we talked of life on his distant star. Then time seemed to stop, you see, for Mother Shakti was flowing through me. He stressed a point I must relate, that man should not have to reach the pearly gates. In other words, he shouldn't die. He spoke of past civilizations on Jupiter and on Mars. Are the dishes on the fourth planet battle scars? The Earth may suffer a similar fate. It's in the Bible, but they won't set a date. The Earth is what's so important. We shall see that no one messes with cosmic energies, and they will spin Earth if need be to put Earth back on track. Then we will implode. And if so, will we ever be allowed back? He said you should use fusion instead of smashing atoms apart. Then pollution shall rid itself when you are given this brand new start. Yes, I met a man from a distant land. He may be high by the touch of his hand. Lee Bell, May of 1978. Believe it or not, I wrote that a little bit more than a year after I met Mike. That's where I was. That house on Wadsworth Road that Mom had, and Tim lived there. I wrote that in Tim's bedroom. Not all at once, but I tried to get it down. I didn't write that down right away. See, when Mike was here, Jimmy Carter was president. Menachem Begin was Prime Minister of Israel. Menachem Begin. And Anwar Sadat was president of Egypt. They're getting ready for the possibility of a war was very close back in that time of year, 1977, and our government was toying with the idea of having the neutron bomb. Remember? Mike and their people, and others, I should say, were here on Earth to stop that. That's why no one messes with cosmic energies. That's why it was so serious. They stopped it. But right before I met Mike, remember the blackout in New York City, 1977? What do you think caused that? The blackout. They sucked all the power from New York City. As an example of what they could do. Mike told me that they could easily pull all the energy from electrical energy from everything on Earth at once, even from a spark plug. You couldn't even start a car, a lawnmower, no sparks. They can do that. But they were so concerned because we're at Denny's restaurant in Moon Township, real close to high school, or junior high, near Howard Johnson's was. And anyhow, we set the bar, the counter, and he took a napkin and a piece and a pen. He made a diagram of the Sun, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, and Jupiter. It went like this. He put a wave through all the, up to Jupiter. Then he put an arrow that went through our solar system, and implied that it went through space. I said, "Hey, Mike, are you saying that we're all connected?" He goes, "Yes." A planet exploded between, the asteroid belt. They can't let that happen again. Well, disrupt the balance of the galaxy. They couldn't let things like that happen. Not again. That's why they'll spin Earth if need be to put Earth back on track. Then we humans will implode. And if so, will we ever be allowed back? See, the planet is much more important than the people, the humans who are starting a war, who are about ready to start a war. What a time. What a time. I met Mike March 16th, 1977 at Eric Miller's house. And the guy who killed Mrs. Miller, Darla, and Kurt was there. Was there. For a couple hours. Then he couldn't handle the conversation. And he, along with almost everybody else, left and went to bed. It was so deep. We talked about so much stuff. And that 4 or 5 hours inside, then when Mike got up to get a cup of coffee, I went into the kitchen. I said, "Mike, level with me, please. Who are you and where are you from?" He immediately went like that. He was a little bit shook. That was so bold to say something. And he goes, I'll tell you, but not right now. He didn't want to. He was shocked. I think that was so obvious. He's so smart. The way he talks. And then he wanted to make sure Mr. Miller wouldn't freak out. Then he talked to her and said, "Darla, me and Lee are going to walk outside for a while and talk. We'll be back." Mrs. Miller started crying. He goes, "You're going to take Lee away and you're going to fly away on a UFO, aren't you, Mike? A spaceship. Oh, and never come back." And Mike held her hand and petted it. No, Darla. No. He's still laying there, invalid. Can't hardly get up or sit up. He goes, Oh, she had MS. And he goes, no, we're just going to talk. Well, it takes me 3 hours to talk about this. Believe it or not, I spent 14 days in my spare time writing this out again. Not all of it, but as much as I could think of it. Back in 1993, I posted on the Fishnet forum in the Sushi Bar and Grill, the area of the forum where anything goes, off-topic stuff. You know, have fun. Yeah, I wanted people to see. A lot of this came from there, or my memory of that. Because back in 1991 or so, I spent days typing it up. It was 45 pages long, double space. Then I got my computer. Then I went to El Cajon and talked at the bookstore that Sean Atlante invited me. That's why I needed to have something to mail people. But long story. That was my last talk. That was after Desert Shield, before I left the Indy. Because I took the Indy to Japan. We replaced the Midway at Pearl Harbor, the great turnover. I went around, I was there for about 2 or 3 months. I already had my fish tank, a couple of fish tanks, so I ate them by then. I bought a bunch of baby angelfish, about 50 of them, of a neighbor of mine. I can't even remember her name anymore. She's a big breeder. And they're starting to pair off. I had to train Eve on how to take care of them. Shortly after, shortly after I got back, jeez, is when I had my first spawn, my bull male, same one. I had all this years. Jeez, what is this guy doing? Jeez. Imagine trying to take a nap. It's dark, or almost dark now. Bang, 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 bang. It's just nuts. And anyhow, God, slam the front door now? Jeez. Same guy. Does all this, does meth or something. Anyhow, the clouds and Santa Claus and the reindeer. What a night. March 16th, Wednesday / Thursday, and Buddha was there. 1977. Buddha sat on his butt, looked up at Mike, right at Mike's feet, and smiled like this. And Mike looks down at him, at Buddha. Goes, smart dog. I said, yeah. Oh, that morning, on Thursday, after we met, Thursday morning, about 10 o'clock, I walked into Eric's bedroom. It was empty. I started crying. I slowly was starting to go into shock. And I sat down on his floor of the bedroom, carpet, and I remember going, chanting, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Mani Padme Hum. I started crying. Yeah. Couldn't believe my luck. And one night he told me so many things and changed my life. About 50 minutes later, I went back into the living room. Mike had to go to the bathroom. He drank coffee. And on the way to the bathroom, when he was about 50 feet from me, he turned to me, didn't say a thing, but he grinned. Like, and a high-speed burst of information hit me. And one of the things that came was, Om Namah Shivaya, like this. Yeah, like I was doing Om Namah Shivaya. With him, telepathically, it was like Om Namah Shivaya. You know, it's that quick. That slow. Mike is no longer our reality. He's not around anymore. Because he told me that I'd never meet him again. But I would meet Jesus and a representative of his. But Mike ascended. He's in a different reality, a different plane of existence. God, it's so noisy. Jeez. He's in a different plane of reality. Who knows what's there? Mike went further, I believe, than anybody ever did before on their planet. Lost communication with me was at the Budget Inn. I was staying there for 2 weeks back in February or early May. February or March. Late February or March. That's why I was homeless. Because of the Salvation Army house. What they did to me. I spent 11 days cleaning that place up. Every word I say is true. God, I wish I'd go to sleep. Now it's pouring out heat. Anyhow. Now it'll be about 85 degrees here in a few minutes. If I open the door up, it's loud. Dogs barking. I'm at the window. Dogs barking. Jeez. I eat it, slam doors, banging things around. Gotta wear your earplugs, I guess, around here. Then you can't hear anything. Huh. Jupiter, Florida, at the beach. That's where Mike was right before I met him. I'll tell you this story someday. Do you have the ears to listen?